Today I've been operating in my hometown of Salisbury, and on my third job of the day I was tasked with carrying out a routine empty of a customer's guttering. Most gutter cleaners just empty the gutters of debris and get on their way, but I like to include a bit of a service with my empties, just to cover myself from any potential problems which may lead to me being called back. And with this booking, it was a good job that I gave the guttering a check over. Before getting on the extension roof at the back of the house, the customer had told me about a concerning sound of water falling above the extension. So once the gutters had been emptied with my vacuum, I thought I'd take a closer look at what this could be. One of the first things I noticed was that the fascia and soffit were starting to rot at one end of the house, and then the waterfall sound became fairly obvious. Where the house had been extended backwards into the back garden, the new extension would have covered the existing external drainage points. So the builder had chosen to remove the outlet, which would have been where this union joint is now, and added a 90-degree bend and carried on the guttering onto the new extension roof. Now, instead of the rainwater going down the drain pipe as it was originally built to do, all of the water from the rear side roof is now draining onto the new roof of the other extension going out towards the road. This part here. However, there's a small problem with this. If this was a small trickle of water, you'd probably get away with it. But there is a ridiculous amount of water being drained into this tight little corner. You can see where somebody has realised the problem and has tried to sort it by adding this waterproof shield here. But unless that layer went all the way down to the guttering, you're in a little bit of trouble. The roof tiles have these little channels on them to stop water from escaping, but where the rear high-level guttering is draining, there isn't a countersunk channel, meaning the water isn't being guided into the guttering, it's just pouring off the side of the roof here. The way I would go about fixing this particular problem would be to replace the 90-degree corner with a stop-end outlet, and then just run a small piece of downpipe and an offset bend further onto the roof below. This would allow a couple of channels in the tiles to keep the water from running off the side of the roof. But the customer does have a bit of a problem now. Because such an enormous amount of water has been flooding off the end of the guttering, it's rotting the fascia and soffit. So getting a decent fix into the soft wood may be a bit of a problem. Hopefully the customer asks me to come back and give fixing this a go, and I can update anybody watching what happens with this in a future video. I'm surprised that when the extension was built, they didn't add any new external drainage points, because now everything at the back of the house is draining onto the flat roof, and eventually making its way to the gutter on the back of the extension, which is only being drained by a very questionably installed downpipe, which is carrying all the water from the house and dropping into a small channel by the garden fence. The building regulations do say that rainwater has to drain 5 metres away from the house, so it's not illegal, but it is a slightly unorthodox way to do it. The gutter on the back of the extension was brimming with water. Not a single drop was draining away, but that problem was pretty obvious as well. There had been an outlet protector installed upside down. So instead of preventing any debris from washing down the pipe, it was collecting debris and using said debris to plug itself up. As soon as it was lifted out, the water started draining straight away. I'm not quite sure why there is an outlet protector here. The whole point of an outlet protector is to stop you from getting a blocked drain. But there's no drainage out the back of this property. Maybe it's to protect the water butt diverter below, which, may I add, was installed about 2 feet too high. When a water butt diverter kit is installed, it should be installed plumb level with the butt itself. This is so that when the water butt fills up, the water can escape back down the same tube it comes in to stop the butt from spilling over the top and making a huge mess. If the diverter is installed higher than the inlet on the butt, once it's full, the water will just cascade over the top, which is far from ideal. So what remedial work would I recommend to today's customer? Now we've completed the gutter empty, that's all done, and the gutters should be functional. Advisories. Repair the downpipes and set the water butt diverters to the correct height. Requires attention. To carry out a repair on the top corner of the original building to stop the fascia and soffit from taking further damage, protecting you from damp and other expensive property damage. Thank you to this customer for allowing me to use footage of their guttering to potentially help others who are having similar problems. I've just started using the channel properly again, and my goal was to bring updates and gutter help videos every single week in 2026. So if you're watching, if you could click just 2 buttons for me, it would be incredibly helpful. The first one is that subscribe button. It's completely free of charge and massively helps the growth of the channel. And the second button is that little thumbs up symbol beneath the video. This helps the video get pushed into the algorithm of more people and theoretically helps the channel grow as well. I hope anybody watching has a fantastic Christmas, and I'll be back with another video just before 2026.